You ever have that one thing about you that everyone gets wrong? Like, they latch onto a rumor or a half-truth, and it becomes your entire identity in their eyes? Well, that's been my life for the last 2 decades, because my entire family, and even some old friends, believe I'm a dropout, that I failed out of the military academy. They mock me, they laugh about it. It's the funny little family joke. What they don't know is that I was actually the top recruit in my entire class. And when the truth finally came out, it flipped my entire family upside down. I'm a general now. I've been in the service for years. I've led missions I can't even talk about. I've carried medals home, but also the weight of names that never made it back. To my soldiers, I'm respected. They salute me. They trust me with their lives. But to my family, I'm a joke. See, back when I joined the academy, I told them I dropped out. I told them I couldn't handle it, and that I just enlisted the regular way. Why would I lie about that? Because one of my first commanders told me something I never forgot. Greater than sun, power cuts deep. The less people know you hold it, the safer you and they are. So I let my family believe I failed. I let them laugh at me. I let the myth grow while my career soared in the shadows. Now, fast forward to family gatherings, birthdays, holidays, weddings, every single time. My uncle, beer in hand, always says, "Here comes the academy dropout. Bet they didn't even trust you with a stapler, huh?" Everyone laughs. My cousin, who's in law school and thinks he's God's gift to the world, always adds, "Imagine that. A general of nothing." They chuckle. I smile through it. My wife squeezes my hand under the table, reminding me not to blow up. But the worst part? My nephew, 15 years old. He looks at me sometimes with this disappointment, like he actually believes the stories, like he thinks his uncle really is just a failure who stumbled into a uniform. That cut deeper than any enemy bullet ever could. Christmas dinner. The house is full, ham on the table, kids running around, and here comes my uncle, already half drunk. He smirks and says, "You know, if you hadn't quit the academy, maybe you'd actually be someone important by now." The table erupts with laughter, and then my cousin piles on. "Greater than, yeah. Imagine if you'd actually made something of yourself." Everyone laughs, except my nephew. He just stares at me, not laughing, not smiling, just disappointed. And that was it. That was the moment I snapped. I stood up, walked out of the dining room. No yelling, no speech, just silence. Everyone thought I'd stormed off in shame, but I went to my car, came back with a small lock box I'd kept hidden for years, set it right in the middle of the table, unlocked it, and pulled out my graduation plaque from the academy, my name etched at the top of the class, a commendation letter signed by the president himself, photos of me in uniform, front row, gold cord on my shoulder, the mark of top recruit, and finally, a handwritten letter from my old commander calling me the finest recruit the academy has produced in decades. I didn't say a word at first. Just let them look. The laughter died instantly. My uncle's smirk collapsed. My cousin's jaw locked. And my parents looked like they were seeing me for the very first time. Then I finally spoke. Calm. "For years, you've mocked me for something you never understood. You thought I dropped out. You thought I was a failure. But I graduated at the top of my class. Every medal on my chest came at the cost of soldiers who didn't come home. So if you're going to mock me, at least mock me knowing the truth." The room was silent. You could hear the fire crackling in the corner. And then my phone rang. I picked it up. It was my adjutant. Urgent. There was an operation flaring up overseas. One of those things I can't talk about. I stood up, put on my coat. Everyone just stared. No one said a word. But as I walked out the door, I stopped by my nephew. I bent down and whispered, "Greater than don't ever let people define you by what they think they know. Half the time, they're wrong. The other half, they're jealous." And then I left. A few weeks later, my mom called me. Her voice was soft, different. She said the family hadn't stopped talking about that night, that my uncle had admitted he'd been unfair, that my cousin stopped bragging so much about law school. But the part that hit me hardest? My nephew. He'd gone to his school counselor and asked about enrolling in military prep. He told his parents, "I want to be like Uncle." Not the version everyone laughs at, the real one. And I'll tell you, that meant more to me than any medal I've ever worn. So, yeah, my family mocked me for years, thought I was a dropout, a nobody, and I let them. I stayed quiet. I carried the weight of the lie. But when the truth finally came out, it didn't just shut them up. It lit a fire in the next generation. And in the end, that was the victory that mattered most.